Accuracy himself.
Tom Atkins has been around for quite a few years, qualified for the show on several occasions. Mr. Accuracy is the name. His game is hitting his target, and we will be back to see his game after these messages.
Of our 1991 season, but not to the conclusion of some pretty fantastic bowling. Hot hand in town right now, Jamie Burke. Recall we had a pretty good look at him last week, Jennifer.
Yeah, Jamie really has impressed me with the stuff he puts on the ball, his attitude. He's a very friendly guy.
We had some time to interview him last week too on camera, and it was a lot of fun. Nice outlook on life and a great outlook on the game, as does Tom Atkins.
Tom, the true veteran. As we said, Mr. Accuracy. Not to take anything away from actually how he throws the ball, because he hooks the ball fairly well.
Yeah, his release is very good, and it's very consistent, Jennifer, and that's what keeps him in the money a lot of the times. Take a look at it there. There you go. The ball doesn't really rotate around too much, just straight up and through, and hits his target. He's 44 years old, 6'1", 180 pounds. Wife's name, Leslie. Tom actually opened the show with a pretty good shot for the 4-7 there, or we call it the quick 8.
Looked like he shot it from the left side too, which is unusual.
It is.
Normally you go across the lane. He may have some insight on the lane conditioning that made him throw it that way.
Well, Tom's game, because he is a straighter player, let's say, covers a lot fewer boards than the torquers we've been seeing the last several weeks. His spare game itself is different. And again, the hit that the big cranker will carry with the pin action, the accuracy player like Tom Atkins will not. He has to depend on that accuracy to carry the strike, stay in the pocket, and to hopefully trip out a 4 now and then. But his forte is hitting the pocket flush and putting 10 pins in the pit.
Tom's a relatively just married a year and 5 months ago. Pretty much a newlywed. His daughters, Jennifer, Lisa, and a stepson, John.
And a spare.
And a spare.
Jamie Burke, as they call him. James Richard Burke, in case he ever inherits millions of dollars. That's what we'd have to call him.
His daughters, Erica and Alicia.
Come on, Carrie.
Come on, Carrie. You don't have to worry about talking that one home. That was excellent.
Jamie looking very impressive once again. As you said, I do believe he has the hot hand in town. And 2 weeks in a row.
And it does run in spurts, Jennifer. You very well know this, that when you're on, and you try to bowl as many tournaments as you can find when you're bowling well. 28 years of age, 6 foot tall, 195 pounds. So these players are pretty well matched up size-wise, but
wow.
Jamie leaving a crush 10-pin on a very, very good shot. And the culprit always on that type of a 10 is the 6-pin, and Tom's left a few of those in his day.
These are our Hyde's qualifiers, Hyde's lanes, out on, I believe that's Cheviot Road.
Yes, out on our side of town, west side
Very
of
nice
town.
establishment. They've really done a lot there.
Look out when you do that, when you're shooting the 10-pin, you have that potential to hook away. We talked about it last week, Jennifer, where you don't modify your release that much. I do. I feel a lot more comfortable being able to flatten the ball out and go right at it, because trying to hook it into that area has just never been my forte.
Mm-hmm.
Going high again, Tom is going to have to, and my way would be to pick up the speed just a little bit. Tom stays down very, very well. Good roll on the ball, but cutting through a little sharply. Gets a break here, leaving the singular pin spare.
Butch Hyde came out this morning and is watching, and he'd like to remind you all that he has a really interesting 3-man or lady scratch league on Wednesday nights during the summer at 9 o'clock, and from what I understand, there's going to be a lot of really good competitors bowling in that league.
I'd like to thank my statisticians today. My wife is taking a day off. I don't know what the deal is there. She normally runs the stats in the truck. Roger Crawford, thank you, and Tim McGill to my left, keeping things in order for us, keeping us in line, as it were. Much better shot. Spins it around and just doesn't quite create, again, the pin action that the big player is going to have in the area, but he needs to either pick up the speed or make a ball change so that that little bugger can get out of there.
Tom started bowling at the age of 3. That is young.
Match at this point is all even.
Tom having no problem with that spare as usual.
Bowled with him in the city tournament, Jennifer, on the same pair, and Tom, once he gets lined up, if he's got a fault, it's that he takes a little bit too long to move. But once he makes that move, he can repeat that shot time after time again. But bowling against Jamie Burke, I don't think you can afford to take any extra time.
Absolutely not. When it's only one game and there's only 10 frames, you've got to jump on it as soon as possible and find that line that you need to get on to strike.
Now, again, the head coming up, lifting the ball with his entire body, his whole legs, no deflection. That power is personified. 10 in a pit, every pin doing its job, and he leads by 10 early on in this game 1 of week 10.
Come on, Gary.
It's there.
Stick.
Another 10 pin. Now let's see if he can handle this one a little better than he did the last one.
Tom, again, pretty much, we could put him on Mount Rushmore. I think
pretty stern.
Just a very casual face, and he's been in so many matches like this before. It's just another day at the park, and does he make this one?
There we go. Many times you take for granted that 10 pin too, and it just becomes so routine that you don't really bear down and watch your mark. It's very important on the 10 pin that you watch that mark and watch the ball roll over it. Therefore, if you miss it, you can make an adjustment if you've watched where the ball rolled over the first time.
That's right, a sigh of relief from Tom, indicating to me that he's not loose. Let's see if that sigh helped him at all. Got the ball out? Yes, it did.
Very nice.
Ought to take a little sigh more often, huh? Take a look at the release. Again, it is very simple, straightforward. Thumb comes out, ball, hands rotate around the ball slightly, and watch this. It's what we talked about, Jen. 1-3 pocket, 10 in the pit, no messengers, no frills, but a solid player.
Tom was born in Dayton and then moved to Wilmington, Delaware for 16 years.
Another sigh. Let's see if it yields the same result.
Oh, nice shaker. That'll loosen you up.
You gotta be loose to knock him down, folks. We've talked about it a lot of times, first-time jitters on TV. It can happen to the experienced veteran also.
Jamie with those steely blue eyes.
The Steely Blues 10 behind right now. Oh my. a great shot, seemingly, but a 7-10 momentarily, and then leaving the 10. It's like the 10 pin's taunting him. 1 for 2 so far. See if that Rhino can bowl it over, huh?
Dale Hafley came in 8th place this week. Haven't seen much from him lately. Along with Wayne Sherman and Ron Bonner, in addition to coming in 2nd, also came in 6th. And George Hensley in 5th place this week.
And I would like to send my deepest sympathy out. Tim George, a fellow player for many, many years here in the greater Cincinnati area, passed away several weeks ago.
A great loss to the bowling world.
Our prayers and best wishes go out to the family. Fabulous fellow. I wish we would have had some footage on him to show you, but had one of the greatest games in town and one of the greatest people I've ever met in this sport.
You betcha.
Tom Atkins, right-hand lane, plus 11. And he seems to be dialed in. Let's see if those sighs of relief are paying off. The ringing 10, as he is accustomed to seeing when he goes around the ball early with his hand. Jennifer, Tom's only fault that I see here, see if you can watch his hand rotate around the ball early. Thumb comes out, he stays down. I tell you what, that's what staying down is all about. The roll on the ball is good. Second one from the right-hand side of your screen. Watch it. There, right there, the 6-pin around the belly. Bad break. Tom Atkins threw a fabulous shot.
Definitely getting the whammy on that ball.
You can take that to the bank. I bet on him making that spare 99 times out of 100.
Tom was 3rd in the 1988 Hoinky Super Classic. He was 18th in the 1986 U.S. Open. That's very impressive.
Consistency, name of the game, especially when the shot is competitive. 10 pins. That man is behind at this point. Couple of frames to make it up with, and that looks like a pretty good shot again. Oh, it rolled off early on him on the lane that he did not anticipate.
Leaving a very choppable spare.
And leaving the door wide open for Jamie Burke. There you go. You see him. He's no emotion, but I'll tell you what. He knows that a little bit of help never hurts. Yeah. Hey, look, guys. I got a shot at this thing.
Covers both pins with the ball. Very nice.
Tom Atkins, a great spare shooter. Well, we haven't given away a car. Ever.
Yeah, but we'd sure like to.
Ever. But doggone it, I'd sure like to give one away here. Maybe the second game. The Schillers brought us a Probe, I believe, this week, Jim.
GL 2-door hatchback. Jazzy looking car. Scarlet red interior, Oxford white exterior. It's got all the options too.
-8. 2 frames to play. And spare is in the bag. Hudy Delight. BPA King of Bowling in its 29th year. 29 years. It's a long time, but this city has supplied us with some of the best talent in the Midwest for many, many years. And believe me, as many good people as you see, it's very difficult to qualify for this show. There are many, many other good players that we have yet to see.
Come on, Kerry!
Come on, Kerry. Seems like when that term is used, his carry increases. Maybe he ought to have one of those little pre-recorded boxes, huh? Take a look at it here again. He lifts up with his whole body. If there's anything you're going to work on, do that. But boy, oh boy, this ball is doing a number on the pin. It's a 5-pin not going to the left as it normally would on the big power player. Jennifer, I'll really go out on a limb and say that if he could work on staying down and using that power and taking away from the consistency the way he does, I think he could be a premier player in town. I really do.
I'm impressed, I'll tell you that. Tom Atkins, though, is going to pour it on the 9th frame, post the strike.
8 pins, both players going into the 10th frame with the crucial strike in the 9th. 8 pins is nothing. We have all sorts of scenarios. Whatever you do, if the phone's ringing, let it ring. They'll call back.
There you see the sign, New Productions Incorporated and the BPA bringing you this fine telecast.
Year after year, because you're watching it. This is a critical shot. Really put the pressure on.
Oh, my.
Unbelievable. In a critical situation where you have to trust the ball, look at his competitor. He, in disbelief, cannot believe the bad break. Head pin. Now watch the ball going to jump to the right side of your screen, right there, barely catching the 5 and not going anywhere. That's the head pin to the left. No roll, no break. Tom Atkins is not in a good situation, but this man is. Jamie realizes now that all he has to do is mark in the 10th frame and then give 6 more pins a ride, and he will go on to match number 2.
Of course, we all know when you need a mark, sometimes it can be the most difficult thing to get.
Exactly, and we've asked some of the competitors that, and we've had a myriad of answers, but really what you should do is just go for the throat, the same way you always do. Act like you need a strike.
Oh, man, a difficult spare.
I don't know what he's scratching his ear for, but he better bring this one back. If he gets 9 out, that will give him 180. Oh, that's a loser. Yeah, 185 is a loser, and that's not going to do it. So you just got to make it, Jamie. Just got to make this. Look out.
Oh, boy.
Not to be today, and as you said, Jen, when you need a spare, sometimes that's the hardest time to pull one out. The final score of this match number 1, Jamie Burke 184, being defeated by Tom Atkins 192. And it's time for the golden ball.